Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 82 of the Sim Racing Show, and this week might be the biggest Gran Turismo 7 moment since launch, because Gran Turismo 7 Spec 3 update is now fully revealed and a stacked lineup of cars and tracks all dropping the same day as Gran Turismo 7's first ever paid DLC. That's going to sound crazy to iRacing fans, but yes, the first ever paid DLC, so we'll talk more about that. But there's big rumours in sim racing, because we might have another Fanatec leak as a brand new mystery wheel has appeared online. But is it real? We've also got a huge update for Assetto Corsa Rally and a new teaser for what's coming next. And iRacing Arcade has been very quietly delayed. More to come as well. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Gran Turismo 7 Spec 3, because the final two cars have been revealed. And honestly, December is going to be pretty exciting for sim racers. So what are we getting? We're getting the first gen Fiat Panda. Wouldn't be Gran Turismo without one of those cars. But we are getting the Ferrari 296 GTB. So we're getting Max Verstappen's GT3, but also the road-going GTB. And both are locked in for the 4th of December. And remember, these aren't arriving alone, because Spec 3 is already stacked with the Renault Espace F1, the Mitsubishi FTO, the Polestar 5, and the Grand Prix circuits, Yas Marina Circuit and Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And December is double stacked for Gran Turismo fans because it's coming on the same day as that paid DLC, the Power Pack. So I think it's Gran Turismo's biggest moment in its entire lifespan, because the reception to this week may define kind of what we see in Gran Turismo 8. Now, there's also some hot news in sim racing rumour land, because it looks like we've seen another Fanatec wheel. Now, if you remember before, we saw a leak for a Fanatec McLaren CSL Elite without the McLaren branding, the same wheel here, and actually that turned out to be true. But this wheel, I'm not so sure. Yes, it has a screen, and everyone wants to see Fanatec wheels with a screen, and it looks logically, I think, how a Fanatec screen wheel should look, which is trying to keep it low price, trying to keep it accessible, maybe going after that Formula crowd who have the Fanatec Formula wheels that are quite well received. However, if you look at the shape of this wheel, I have the Mustang VPG wheel, which is very similar in shape to some of the Porsche GT3 wheels. This wheel looks too similar to that, and I think that premium shape wouldn't work with a budget screen like that. So I'm very cynical about this rumour, but let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, Fanatec does need to release a wheel with a screen, and the Bentley wheel's not going to cut it, because the Bentley wheel was just massively undermined by the MOZA Vision GS that released ages ago. So let me know what you think of that Fanatec leak. Now, next we're going to speak about Assetto Corsa Rally news and teasers, but before we speak about that, a big shout out to Instant Gaming for sponsoring the Sim Racing Show. Because if you're looking to pick up Assetto Corsa Rally, Le Mans Ultimate, Assetto Corsa Evo, or literally any racing title, check my affiliate link in the description. There are still bargains to be had. Assetto Corsa Rally 49% off, now $17. Le Mans Ultimate now 59% off, $19, and Evo 53% off, $20. I think they're before sales tax. Project Motor Racing, if you want to risk it as well, 40% off, $41. So I think a lot of people have been enjoying the deals on Instant Gaming. It's really cool to work with them and make sure they've got sim racing on their platform. So any more games you want on Instant Gaming, let me know. And a big thanks to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. Now let's get to Assetto Corsa Rally news, because during a live Q&A, Supernova game director Erwin Zonka dropped a few big reveals about what's next for the game. So the plan is simple but ambitious: monthly updates through early access. So that means new cars, new stages, new modes, and regular bug fixes. So December's update, because monthly update, they say is mainly focused on sorting out controller issues. If you remember, when we went to Sim Racing Expo, my colleague Sam tried it on a controller, and we said in videos that seemed to be a bit janky. So let's see if Assetto Corsa Rally are going to be able to fix it. It's good that it's a priority. There's also some people that seem to be struggling on wheels. Personally, I haven't on my SIMUCUBE 2 Pro, but let's see if they can support that as well. And what else do you think should be in the Christmas surprise update? Well, we've got some teasers for Assetto Corsa Rally, looking pretty tasty. So Erwin Zonka has confirmed a brand new rally car is on the way. That's a Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. It won't make the December update, but it looks locked in for early 2026. So rally fans are going to love that. And a new environment on the way too. Zonka described it as a wintry mountain road with changing conditions start to finish. I think of those words, I think Monte Carlo. I would love somewhere like Sweden or Finland as well in the future. I think I called Assetto Corsa Rally potentially my game of the year A lot of people saying, how can you say that? Rennsport hasn't come out, Project Motor Racing hasn't come out yet. Now those two games came out, I think I look even more prescient saying Assetto Corsa Rally could be Game of the Year because the base is so strong and all it needs is just future content, cars and tracks, and it looks like that's what they're doing. Now iRacing Arcade, and no one saw this coming because iRacing Arcade, some people were quietly surprised to it, but it's been pushed back to 2026. So it was supposed to launch today on 2nd December, but now iRacing's Kevin Bobbitt says it will arrive within the next 90 days instead. And console players, unfortunately, you're waiting even longer. The PlayStation and Xbox versions are planned for later in 2026. Disclaimer here, I was part of the original Circuit Superstars team. This game looks to be based on Circuit Superstars, so obviously I'm a little bit biased. But even then, I would say, don't come into this thinking it's an iRacing game. And I'm very concerned that this game is going to follow the same mistakes that Project Motor Racing and Rennsport have made and present it to a load of sim racers. This is not a sim racing game. This is a fun arcade kind of, just a fun game, casual game. And if you call it iRacing, people are going to be like, oh, this has got terrible physics for iRacing game. So just so we know, this is not a sim game, this is an arcade game. But unfortunately, if you did want to play it during the winter holidays, Christmas, whatever, you're not going to be able to now. There is still a demo online though. And did you know what the biggest sim racing sim driving game seems to be at the moment? Well, it looks to be Euro Truck Simulator 2. Now, this is my big pick for 2026. I think Euro Truck Simulator is going to go massive. It's going to go on console. They're going to add cars. I think it could be a whole different style of driving. And remember, Forza Horizon 6 coming as well in 2026, and apparently maybe coming in early 2026. So Forza Horizon 6, Euro Truck Simulator, this is a return of the open world driving experience. We've just had track focus games come out in Rennsport and Project Motor Racing, and if you look at the Steam concurrents, they're not doing too well on Steam. Where are the player base on Steam? They're in the big open world games. I still think the ideal game for someone who's looking for a kind of casual experience with more sim elements is an open world driving game where you can drive to actual race circuits and then you can drive on the circuits. Now, the only game that's really trying to do that at the moment is kind of Assetto Corsa Evo with the area around the Nürburgring, but we've seen how far that's been delayed. That was meant to come out in summer 2025. I said, never believe that. Don't believe that, please. Again, I was kind of proved right because it hasn't come out yet. But if and when that does come out, that might be the first opportunity we see of blending this open world driving freedom with the kind of fun of pushing yourself and performance on a track. At the moment, we have two very different camps in simulation. And I think the free roaming simulation is winning. And I know this is a sim racing show and we tend to cover more circuit-based sims, but we also cover absolutely everything. I just wanted to let you know, I think that's where the zeitgeist is right now. Forza Horizon 6 could suck out a lot of oxygen from the sim racing scene if it's a good game in Japan, if it's got a great roster, if it performs really well. So that's what I'm thinking for 2026. Let me know what you think. What are your predictions for 2026 in the comments? And I will see you in the very next sim racing show.